I pledge allegiance
allegiance to the
to the
flag
flag
of the
of the
United
United
States of
States of
America
America,
and to the republic
republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for
for all.
all. Okay. Um, Next is minutes.
Correct. Approval of the October 2024 meeting minutes. I motion to vote for approval.
Second that motion.
All in favor? Well, can't do all in favor, so we'll do a roll call again.
Yep. All right. So Lisa Judelson.
Yes.
Okay. Alexander Beaudry.
Yes.
And myself, I vote yes. Shonda is absent. Julia is absent. Kelly Trapasso.
Yes.
Janine Cullen.
Yes.
Dom Jellison.
Yes.
Meg Keegan.
I didn't get a chance to read them, so I abstain.
Abstain. Okay. That still gives us a majority.
All right, great. So our first, actually, so Meg, do you still need to leave early?
Yes, I need to leave at 5.
So I was happy to bump up Meg's discussion about the contact with Barnstable and the police department so that you can feel free to go when you need to go.
Yeah, and I can also speak on the proposed meeting for the MOD. Can I do
Okay,
that?
that would be great. Thank you.
So, Jeff Dugan can come on January 15th to speak to us and answer our questions about the role of MOD. That is, I believe that is not a regularly scheduled Wednesday. Are enough people gonna, that's what day is it? January 15th is, oh, it is a Wednesday. It's the third Wednesday in January. Are people opposed to either having an additional meeting or having our meeting at that time, and just know that it might run longer?
So should we take, I mean, is anybody unavailable that day? Or, and maybe we should take a vote or get people's opinion on whether they prefer that as an additional meeting or to just run our meeting for January that day.
Is anybody not available that day?
I have limited availability from, I could do till 5 that day. If we moved it up to 4, I might be able to do it.
Okay, I don't think he gave me, let me see if he gave me a time. I don't think he did, but I can see if he can do 4 that day. Does anybody have any issue with 4, like that day in particular? Or that time, around that time?
I am not sure. I have a class that runs until 4, but I potentially, if I'm not running that meeting, I could join in. I am in the car on the way home. I'm happy to listen.
I could also do later. I just have an obligation from 5 to 6 that day.
I'm available at 4, and like today I left at 1:15, so I could do that again. But just if he's speaking, I mean, if someone could just open the meeting and then I can
I'm
get
sure.
home and join in, that would be fine.
Yeah, as long as we have 6 people to start the meeting, that's fine.
Mhm.
And then do people want to just have the regularly scheduled meeting that time?
Yes.
I am fine with having just the
Yes.
one meeting if
Okay.
unless somebody has something else they'd like to say about that.
I think it would be appropriate to motion to have our January meeting on January 15th in conjunction with the MOD presentation.
Second that motion.
Okay, we could do roll call again.
Yep, and I'm sorry, 2 people at once. Who seconded?
Janine and Alex.
Thank you.
Fight over.
We can do a roll call voting for having January 15th as our regular meeting in addition to the MOD presenting. Lisa Judelson.
Yes.
Alexander Beaudry.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Joseph Saunier. Shonda DeSanti is absent. Julia Wright is absent. Kelly Trapasso.
Yes.
Janine Cullen,
Yes.
Don Paulson,
Yes.
Megan Keegan.
Yes.
Meg,
That
do you want
is
to check on the,
unanimous.
sorry. Meg, do you want to check on the time with him or do you want me to do that?
Either one of us, we can figure it out.
Okay.
If you can do, I've been super busy, so if you can,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
I will
Um,
email him and just confirm we'll try for 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and let the people who aren't here know.
Yes.
Um,
I can, once you get the time, if you just confirm it with me, I can send a notification for everyone in our group
Awesome.
and start drafting the agenda.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So the other thing is the accessible parking. So I reached out to Tammy, who's the ADA coordinator. Well, first I reached out to Chief Keen, and he directed me to Deputy Chief. I'm not going to remember his name right now. And once I got a hold of him, I said, like, I asked him to reach out to the Barnstable Police, but I CC'd Tammy on it, and basically the police don't have anything in Barnstable to do with it anymore. So what Tammy suggested is that we get together with her, the parking coordinator, and the chair of the Commission on Disability in Barnstable, who I met yesterday, it was, to have a discussion about what that could look like, what's going on in Sandwich now, like what we observe and what's happening in the bank account and what's happening in between to better understand the situation. And then if, either in conjunction or if the police don't have the available resources, if there's a way for us to duplicate on a very small scale, on a volunteer scale, what Barnstable does with their parking people. So what that training would look like, so that we have options. So my plan, I think, Dom, you said you wanted to come. I wanted to ask if there was anybody else that wanted to come to be part of the conversation. And then once we have kind of like laid out what is actually might be feasible, to bring it back and present it to the commission.
Yeah, I mentioned I could come along as well.
Okay, I know Dom could just remind me, or send me an email. Kelly, were you saying something? You're mute.
No, to my kids, sorry.
Okay. I get it. So, Joe and Dom, does anybody else want to come? I can ask Chanda and Julia and Joanne. One of the things that we have to find out if somebody can do this is all tickets that are written are sent to Plymouth for processing. And so they're counted. And so if there have been any accessible tickets written, they should be documented there. So I think an important piece of information is to know if in the last year, any violations have been written. Is there someone that could reach out to the town clerk to ask him for that information? I believe he has it.
I can do that.
Thank you.
I have to talk to him anyway about a few different other things, so I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
And I think that will be telling, right? Like that will be telling whether things have been not written at all or written and then excused or.
Correct.
Yeah.
If there have been tickets written, if in that, if there have been some written, you could Taylor's the one that can override them. And so maybe you could ask him what it was. And so when I was talking to Paul Tilton from the Commission on Disability in Barnstable, he said that they have a very particular way about that they do things and so he actually was saying that sometimes people with placards park in the accessible aisle, the part that's hashed off, which doesn't allow people who need van access, like him who's in a wheelchair, to do that.
Mhm.
And what their policy is, the first time it gets forgiven, but if you are a repeat offender, you don't get forgiven for that. So it was interesting that they have like a way that particular way that they will dismiss tickets or let them go. They have, it's not just there seems to be a written way that that's actually done. So I think that's great information that we could collect from I can't remember the parking guys on policy, things like that. So I think having their input, it's very clear that we cannot reproduce what they have. 50% of their ticket goes to the parking office and 50% of their ticket goes to the Commission on Disability because they have to pay for that. But there was a lot of good information. So I think having us all sit down at the table will be great. We'll figure out a time for that.
Are they going to come to the meeting to present with you, or you're going to just present back what you just talked to them about?
I think Joe, Dom, and I can decide once we know. It's probably going to depend. If the police are like, hey, they want to take a big role in this, then they should probably present what they're going to do, or so they're all three of them are willing to come, and they thought they were coming tonight. Luckily, I found out that was happening and said, no, not tonight.
Mhm.
But anyway, I think that to be determined, right?
Yes.
Probably they will come. I would think so, but
Great. Joe, are you taking notes in your car?
I sure am.
And are you doing
I'm not driving.
Okay.
Thank
Good to know.
goodness.
Good to know. Are you doing a to-do list?
I'm taking it all on the minutes. I'll try to generate a to-do list from that. So
Okay, because I was going to
That's okay.
call Jeff Dugan and then also talk to Taylor. I'm just trying to, for myself, also keep track of what I'm supposed to do. Okay, thank you, Meg. I appreciate that. And Joe for going with her. Anything else, Meg?
Nope. I think just that I think did you end up talking to Brendan because Julia
tried.
asked
Who asked?
Julia when it came to the accessible agenda, Julia from the MOD said that if it's not accessible, then it needs to be reported to the ADA coordinator, and the ADA coordinator needs to fix it.
Yes.
Like-
I called several times, and what I think he does, because I can't leave a message, is picks up but hangs up. So it doesn't go to voicemail.
Huh.
So maybe I need to just text him or something. I'm not sure. I have
Okay.
not spoken with him yet, but I have reached out. So I will rectify that.
No
Also.
worries.
Yeah. And then part of my issue is that I come home like in a whirlwind on Wednesdays, feed the dog, and then log on. And I had gotten everything like loaded in my email in the car so that when I came in, I could just, go to the agenda and click it on the ones that are accessible. But I also, Joe, I need to just go through with you, like which ones are accessible and which ones aren't, because I was unable today. Even it says click here and it said link, so it tells me it's active, but when I was clicking it, I was not able to get on. I actually ended up texting Meg. So
And was that from the Sandwich Town website, or is that from the email I sent you?
no, that was from an email you sent.
I can explain why that might have happened.
Okay.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
No, I'd like to hear.
Launch it. I was Joe able to launch it from the email.
Okay.
So when I opened it from the email from Joe, when you click here to join, my computer said, like, are you sure you want to leave this page and join, or something to that effect? Like there was just one more click
Okay.
that needed
It's
to happen.
possible I was in a panic.
Yeah.
It was so close. And I was like, and then I tried a different device, and then I just ended up texting you because you had checked in to see where I was. So part of it is that when I am in a rush, I do not have the time or the mental capacity to go through all the steps that I would normally do checking. So I will actually, after this meeting, try to log on again and just see when I'm calmer, and I can check and see if there's that other box, because that does happen, but usually the voiceover will read that. So I know it's there. I'll just spend some time with it. But Joe, I really am so tired of having this on the agenda and talking about it. So I will definitely make an effort to get very straight on what is and is not working and talk to Brendan, and so we can move forward with this.
Yes, if there's anything on the ones I'm generating or creating that isn't accessible for any reason, please let me know and I'll figure out how to fix it.
Okay. I mean, it said link. I was expecting to just be able to, that was part of the thing, is that I was expecting to just be able to click it and have it open. And then when it didn't, that's when things go awry for me, when I have to think quick and make changes.
Yeah, that happens to me every time. So I can't just hit my enter button on my laptop and click onto it.
You can.
And Janine, is that from the
I
one
can't.
that is that from the one that I send or the one on the website?
The one you send.
Okay.
So I have a question. Can you click on the one that's the whole link? Like, cause part of the reason when we first made the click here to join, and it was, when we first did it, it was like auto launching. I wonder if it needs a different type of link to auto launch. But if you click the long link, the other link, that the only other link on there, does that work, Janine?
No.
It did not for me today either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just-
Okay. I'll look into what's going on. I've just been
Recently,
copying.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Kelly.
I wasn't able to do it before, but I am now, so I don't know.
So what I noticed is when I'm on my computer, when I went into the email and clicked on the link right directly from the email, it's basically the PDF. It's not live. So it had to open I'm just going through the steps while we're talking about this. So it had to open the PDF, and I'll try it different on my phone. And then once the PDF is open and I click the link, it then asks me, it says this, tells me the underlying link and says Prevo will open this link in Safari. And I have to click open in Safari. I'll try it on my phone to see if it's any different, but what we might need to do, Joe, is embed the link in the email. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not a problem. I've just been using what's on that meeting location copied from whenever I first got it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a couple things. I can absolutely embed that link in the email. Not a problem. I can do that. But also, if it's not working in the PDF, I would like to figure out why so I can fix it so that everywhere that we send is as accessible as possible. I don't want people to have to, some people have to do it via the email, and some people do it via the PDF, and some people do it via the website. I want them all to be accessible so it doesn't matter. You can just click on it.
Right. That would be, thank you.
Yeah, I'm on an
so-
iPad. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I did open the PDF and then launched it from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, and that should, that's expected, right? It's expected, like when you have an attachment, when you have an attachment in the email, you have to open that up. But like Joe said, once you open that attachment up, we should be able to do it. And I can, or maybe both of us, Joe, can look at Zoom to see if there's like a particular link that has like an auto launch in it type thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean by that? Like in the link, it just like bypasses whatever other things you might have to click on. I'm gonna try on my phone.
Yeah, and I'll turn my screen reader back on my phone, and I can test it on Android.
Thank you both.
But in the interim, I will include the link in the body of the email.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
No problem.
When I click it from on my phone, I click on the PDF, it opens the PDF, and then I click on the link and it makes me open that again. It says, do you want to leave mail and open this link? I mean, I think it's like a security thing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
People are just not clicking links and going to websites. That would make sense. That it gives you a notification. Do you know what I mean? That might be a feature, a security feature. So it might just be an extra step, but I'm happy to look at it with you, Lisa, as well.
Okay, great.
Who owns the Zoom link? Because maybe I can get I don't know if anyone's seen the email for calendar invites on Zoom at work, where it has all the info embedded into the email as a calendar invite. Maybe that's something we can explore as well.
But would you then need to open your calendar to get to it?
Not necessarily. I know I can just open the email and click the link directly from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Leanne Drake.
Leanne Drake.
And if you are logged into the accessibility email, her email should come up.
Perfect.
I do have to jump off.
Okay. Thanks
Thank
very much, Meg.
Bye, Meg.
Have a great day.
Hi, Meg.
All right. So what do we have next on the agenda?
Sorry, one moment.
Oh. God, can't you do like 5 things at once, Joe?
I'll go back to the start. We were going to discuss social media and if there was an update on that at all.
So I don't believe so. And Julia had been doing our social media. And so I have not checked in with her or gotten an update recently on how she's doing. I don't know if she's back home again or not. Does anybody else has anyone else thought about things we can have on the social media or other enticing ways to get people to pay attention to what we're doing?
I think definitely having some scheduled updates, like if we each quarter take a little bit of time in our meetings to come up with, 5 or 6 things that we want to post on the social media, we can plan them out, have them go out. I'll be happy to work with Julie on that when she gets back. So it might be best I don't know if anyone has access to social media without Julia. I don't know if anyone has the
I don't think we do. So
we'll probably table this until she's back, but I think that would be something good that we could do to improve engagement.
I agree. Also, I know Meg with her business has been experimenting a lot with social media. Not like Facebook stuff, but like how to advertise in creative ways that catch people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, we'll table that for now. All right.
Next up would be community outreach, which kind of goes with the social media a little bit.
I know that our Kelly, Janine, and I going to the schools, to Forestdale School to talk to the 1st and 2nd graders. We'll be kicking off our 3rd year this year. So it's very exciting. We end up hitting every 1st and 2nd grade. It's not every Wednesday, but it's several each month. And it's really exciting. The 1st graders, it's the first time they get to see us, but now that we've been there, this will be our 3rd year. Now the 2nd graders are getting us for the 2nd time. So that's pretty fun. And we tell them when we're there, has anybody ever met someone blind? And usually on occasion there's somebody raises their hand, but after we've been there, then they've met someone blind and they know things about blindness and vision loss and guide dogs and had some questions answered. So I believe, Kelly, you would like to do it again too. Are you interested?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great. So, and I know Janine, we already spoke about it. So, we do it through with Julia Crosby, who's the health and wellness teacher. So that'll be starting again, which is exciting. Does anybody else have any ideas about community engagement or outreach?
I think that's a great thing that we do. I think it'd be nice if we could come up with something for each school. We have, a nice outreach for Forestdale. Maybe we can brainstorm in our next meeting on things that either people in this commission or people we know could engage with Oak Ridge and the Sandwich Middle High School, because that sounds like a really great thing that you guys are doing.
I think we all get a lot out of it as well. I will say that the older the kids get, the more they scare me a little bit. Part of the reason why we started with the younger kids is to sort of really get them young, give them some real life exposure and experience with people with disabilities before they sort of form ideas in their heads about or expectations that are untrue.
Yeah, that's great.
So, but I would not be opposed to talking to the other schools, but it is the program as it is right now, reaching every child in individual classrooms because they're young. We thought it would be too much to do as like a whole group gathering. And also it gives them time to ask questions and get some individual time with us. But it is time consuming. So, if we went and did more of like a presentation, to a larger group, time wise, that for me personally would be better. But I think then the older kids might be able to handle that better.
Yeah, I think it would be great to tailor it to, the kids we're looking at. And I wasn't necessarily meaning you again. I think, I'd be happy to come up with something that, I could help participate in that as well. Just the more we get out there, the more people realize, it's not easy for everyone. And there are a lot of things that we can do to make things a lot easier for a lot of different people.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say yes, exactly. Even just about disabilities in general and just about, interactions in the public and things people can do and just raising awareness in general. I do think that's a great idea.
I know that there is a program that is at the middle high school. I think the goal is that it will come down to Oak Ridge. It's called Eye to Eye. And so it's run by neurodiverse students, and the older kids sort of provide peer counseling. So I know that that's at the high school. So I almost wonder if we could also just do something with them, like if they want us to come to one of their meetings or something like that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask somebody about that? Do you have time?
I can, yes. I can send an email about that.
Okay, thank you. Fantastic. Anybody else? All right. What else do we have?
Our website intro review. Oh, I forgot to send that out, but I did draft one. So I think it would be best to kick that to the next meeting. I got it all drafted. I was like, all right, I'll send this out to everybody, but I don't think I sent it.
We can table that.
Nobody got one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But that would be,
Sorry about
thank you very much for doing that. Look, you can cross
Yep.
that off already, the to-do list for next month.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it drafted and I meant to send it out, but I did not. So I will get it sent out before the next meeting and
Great.
we can add that to the agenda next time.
And did we also, I was going to ask Meg when she was on and then forgot, but did we also have questions for the MOD about the intro? Had that come up?
Not sure, but we can
I'm not sure
absolutely
there. Well,
have
maybe
it on
we
our
can read
agenda.
we can read your draft and then we'll have access to them in January to ask any questions.
Yeah. That'll be perfect. I'll make sure the draft's out for the December meeting and then we can have feedback on that. And then hopefully I'll come up with something more kind of final draft and we can maybe have the MOD help us with that.
Perfect. Thank you. Excellent.
The next one was mostly for me. Annual report. I found in the Mass General Law that we are required to submit an annual report to the town. I was able to get in touch with Meg outside of this, and I found the one she sent last year. So I'll work on getting that, and I'll make sure to draft and have that for. I don't know if I'll have it for December. I'll look at the law again. I hope we'd finish the year and then send it would be my thought. So I can start drafting that to maybe vote on like January or February timeframe.
Perfect. I think that the town sent an email to Meg requesting it. I think they send something out to each department in the town requesting, and then we ended up doing a photo. I don't know if that was last year or the year before. Does anybody remember? We went
I
down and
don't
met
think
in front of the town hall when the new parking space was put in.
Yeah, I don't think it was last year because I don't remember.
Okay, it must have been the
I
year
don't
before.
either.
Anybody want to do a photo on the new boardwalk?
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I think it draws more attention to our report. That's provided that people are still putting photos into their town reports, but if we can manage that, I think that would be great.
I think that would be great. And I think we can put in whatever we want in the annual report. It wasn't very prescriptive in the law. It just said we had to do it.
Okay, so maybe we can use the text with everybody on it to kind of figure out, maybe I'll put out a few dates and times, and see if people are available. We can get as many people as possible. I mean, we don't have to, it would be great if we had everybody, but you know, if one or two people can't make it, maybe we can still get it done.
That sounds great.
Okay. Also, on that note, Joanne Lovehurst did get approved and was given the information to be sworn in, but I know she went away on vacation. So she's planning to do that as soon as she gets back. So I think technically she is now a member. Well, I guess not till she gets sworn in, or the voting happens when she gets sworn in.
Yep.
At any rate, maybe Joe, did you make the text, or did Meg? I don't know who can add her to that text chain. It's mostly why I was bringing that up.
I'm not sure. I'll look into it.
I think Meg.
I think Meg did it. Yeah.
Formed that list, so maybe
Okay.
she can add Joanne onto that. That would be great. I can touch base with her about that. Okay. And they did, the select board did approve for us to increase our numbers to 11. So that's all official.
Great.
All right. And was there one
So
more?
well, no, I was just going to say, I think that'll be a good thing to add for next agenda is how do we want to go about filling that? Kind of ties in with the community outreach and all that.
Yep, because now we have a seat that we can fill. Great.
That is all of our agenda items.
Okay. I did have one thing that just came up this morning or yesterday afternoon. So the S'more newsletter, Meg had reached out to them as a business owner who wanted to use their product for her business, and from that side of things was asking them about accessibility, and they requested to have a Zoom meeting with her, and we're trying to find a time that I can do it with her as well to talk to them. They would like to screen share and then hear examples with my voiceover as to, you know, what doesn't work and what does work. So I took that as a very positive sign that you know, they are looking to find ways to make their product accessible. I'm not sure how long,
That is great.
but yeah. So we can keep people posted on what happens with that.
Well, that's
Perfect.
more progress than we've made yet, so.
Right,
think
right.
that's a
I mean,
good
it's kind
thing.
of, yeah, it's coming at it from the back door, right? Like kind of just,
Yep.
I mean, it will benefit their product and their company to do that. They were advertising themselves as being the only accessible game out there, and in fact they're not. So they did take that down and said now there's something on their website posted about trying to upgrade their accessibility, but yeah, so I was grateful to Meg that she had kept this line of communication open and that they were responding this way. So
Yeah, that's great news.
yep.
That is great news.
Anything else? Okay,
I will motion to close then.
I will, can I second? I don't know, can the chair second things? I never feel like I should be seconding, but I'm not sure.
I think
about-
so.
Okay, I second.
All right. And what did we determine? Was this still a roll call? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So our next meeting will be December, is it 4th, 5th? I can ask my device, but then that's gonna be that.
It's December 4th. Sorry.
December 4th, okay. So our next meeting will be at 4:30 on December 4th. And,
Okay, Lisa.
okay,
And what's the
Alexa,
name of the
stop.
event?
Alexa, stop. And we can see everybody then. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. And thank you very
You
much
as well.
for joining.